Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. To Bill Cream alongside Jalen Rose and Steve Smith. We got complete post-game coverage coming up here on NBA TV. When the players come out, when the coaches come out, we will take you live to the podium. I think Mike Breen said it best in this win. What a difference a game makes. Minnesota looking completely different here.
And it usually starts with your best player. SGA, the MVP, got off to a slow start. Anthony Edwards got off to a terrific start, in particular offensively, where he was very aggressive attacking off the dribble, shooting threes, getting to the rim, playing well defensively. He led the charge, and then everybody else followed.
Sure, I mean, it is. I mean, the one thing I loved about it, he even had assists. He got guys easy shots. He rebounded the basketball. He played with a force on both ends that got contagious to them, and then they started making shots. But this is the way they're going to have to play, and I think just the mindset of them, and it was desperation, but in the playoffs, you got to play with desperation.
All right, let's start with Anthony Edwards here. So, Jalen, like you mentioned, 30 points, 12 of 17 shooting, effective and efficient.
Absolutely. Let's show him how he was getting towards his shots. And when you're a great player, you have the responsibility of being very disciplined, because you know that you could take a shot at any time, but it's more important to get your shot. And that's what he did right there. You can see the patience getting to the free throw line. Here, on the possession, Julius Randle starts the offense. Anthony Edwards gets into a one-on-one. And look how he goes around basically the whole team. Watch this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And with the sweet reverse and the layup, that's not settling. And that's for the guy who led the league in three-pointers made. Here you see Rudy Gobert setting the pick up top. And you know he could do that great height on his jump shot. Elevation, knocks it down. Here he's playing off the ball. It's really good when your best player doesn't always need to be ball dominant. Anthony Edwards in this situation, that's just a heat check. And once he's got shots like that going, it's going to be a long night for the opponent.
You know, we talked so much about OKC's defense through the first two games, Smitty. But Minnesota, listen, they can play some defense, and they showed it in this one.
They have. I mean, throughout these last two seasons, they've been a pretty good defensive team. But I thought in those first two games, they were basically lackadaisical. But then in this game, it seemed like their pickup points was huge, their traps, and they were OKC. They were handsy. Here's Rudy Gobert. Okay, big Rudy, getting the basketball to Ant-Man. He drove this one. Probably thought he got fouled on that one. That was a bucket. Next play, as you can see, a great contest. Ball is loose, and there's Ant-Man going through guys to get the basketball and finish. This gets your team going, the fans going, and you need fans to get going. This play I really love. He just ran through Lou Dort. He was the more aggressive. Usually Lou Dort and Caruso has put pressure on him. He put pressure on them defensively. And I love this last one. As you watch the Timberwolves right here, this is a young guy, Terrence Shannon, being able to get down, dig down. He gets the ball, and I'm attack. You're definitely going to have guys like Shannon play a little bit more because of, I think, it's his aggressive mindset. They got to stay playing where they're attacking, up to the ball, touch, and being handsy.
He had 15 points in 13 minutes.
He's that kind of player.
Yeah, he was great in this game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the other side of things, 4 of 13 in this game, 14 points. But, Jalen, what really stands out to me, just 4 free throw attempts in this game.
They played without fouling, and that's what the opponent and the fans of the other team have been asking the refs to do. Allow us to play SGA, the MVP, without fouling. But it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to execute it. And they did a really good job of that. And it's very tough to do because that's what great offensive players do, right? They understand how to draw contact to get shots for themselves and or get themselves to the free throw line. But his timing seemed a little bit off. You see him miss a couple of layups that he doesn't normally miss. You saw him jump in the air once or twice and try to pass the basketball when he should have shot the basketball in points that he normally would take a shot. So they did a good job of disrupting him, which we haven't really seen throughout this playoff.
He finished again with 14 points in this game. That's a low for him in the regular season and in the playoffs. But right from the get-go, it just felt like we were talking about OKC just felt off right from the get-go.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they weren't the aggressor. Defensively, usually when they're not shooting it well, they set the tone defensively. I mean, I think they came in and obviously was a little bit hesitant, didn't understand the magnitude of how hard Minnesota was going to play. But, you know, it is home court advantage for OKC. They took care of business. Now Minnesota saying we'll take care of business. We talked about it. It's not the losses, it's how you lost. Right. Let's see where they can go from this mental blowout from OKC.
143-101 the final. Let's hear from Chris Finch, who's now at the podium.
Chris, just what did you see from your group, especially at the start, that set the tone and got you guys rolling the way that you did?
Our defense was good, was on point. Certainly, we're able to kind of get out and play faster than we have been playing through the first 2 games of the series. Get some turnovers and some, emotional momentum plays early on, kind of get us going. So,
what led to the Terrence decision, and just what do you think about the lift that he gave you?
I mean, it was awesome. Came in. I've been wrestling with getting another guy in the rotation. We played Jalen a little bit the other day. I just, a guy who can stretch the floor in transition. He's a downhill player. Got a good body. Physicality. We needed some physicality out there. Just kind of a different type of player than we have in other positions. So, we kind of knew coming into the game that we were going to get to him.
Ant obviously scored a lot in the first, but his defensive tenacity, the way he attacked the glass, just what did you think of the tone he seemed to set for the entire team?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need him to do, and that's when he does it. It takes us to another level. I thought that's what was really, really big in the first quarter. He got a couple of those steals. He was all over the place. He knew that we needed that type of start from our defense, and he brought it. It was really, really good.
Coach, with the way that and the fact that he had big minutes for you, can we see him play a bit more going forward? What could his role look like in Game 4?
Well, you're definitely going to see him more. You gotta. First thing is to be good in this league. You gotta keep doing what you've already just done. So we just want to see more of the same. But we know either way, whether the shots go in or he scores or doesn't score, he's going to bring energy and competitiveness. That's what we really love about him. So, yeah.
Coach, talk about Nasri getting back strong today.
Yeah, it was good for Nas to see some threes drop for him. I thought he played much more definitively and just confident. And, I thought the only thing that kind of got in his way was a little bit of foul trouble. He's starting to get some momentum. But, he's been so important to us, and we need him. And, I thought he gave us another kind of gear, too, out there. So.
Chris, they came out of halftime, an 11-2 run, and you guys called a timeout and then went 20-4 back. What was the key in that timeout to kind of reground, refocus things?
Just to, welcome to Minnesota. What was the question?
In the spirit of refocusing out of that, what was the key of refocusing out of halftime?
Oh, the timeout. Yeah, I mean, that was just it. It was refocus. We've had second half starts like that before when we've played really well in the first half. I just thought we were a little sloppy with our passing, a little loose with our defense. These guys came back from, 30-plus against Memphis. Just in this playoffs recently, they're an outstanding team. They're not going to quit. So we started giving up threes, which we didn't want to do at that point in time, and then we had an and one. So it was just like a combination of the guys really refocused, came out and not just got back in the game, but grew the lead from beyond what it was at half. So all credit to those guys. So.
Even in the stretches where you played well in the first 2 games, you didn't kind of reach maybe this level where you just kind of thrashed them. Is there something psychologically for this team at this moment in the series that now you can accomplish this against this team?
First of all, shots went in today, and they hadn't gone in games 1 and 2, and that's just the nature of it sometimes. So, we don't feel psychologically disadvantaged when we step out on the floor. I don't know if that answers your question or not. So we just had to kind of keep finding a better game within ourselves. We hadn't really played our best basketball. All credit to them at times for affecting that. Tonight I think we just were able to put it all together and got to do it again. So.
Coach, it seemed like you guys were really aggressive, especially jumping passing lanes, getting deflections, especially early on. Was that a point of emphasis coming into tonight?
Well, we wanted to be the aggressor in everything. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys knew what type of defense we can play. We don't feel that we've been playing it. We felt most of the series we've been on our heels defensively. I think that was a mindset switch that we realized. So guys, got aggressive, and that's what you need to do right now. So.
What did you guys do better and or differently against Gilgeous-Alexander tonight?
You want me to tell you?
He didn't have as good of a game.
I mean, we, like I said, we just were more aggressive everywhere. I thought we were a little cleaner around him with, didn't foul. Just our competitiveness was at all-time high. Like, he is a phenomenal player, man, and he's not going to have too many nights like this. So we feel fortunate for that, and we'll move on to Monday.
When you lose 2 games in the fashion that you lost the first 2 games, the confidence can be kind of shaken. Did you sense any of that, notice any of that? And if so, kind of to what Chris was saying, is that kind of an emotional boost moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we have, I didn't sense